Is there another question? Yep.
Hello. I wonder, would you consider introducing a high tax on gasoline as an effective measure to increase population density?
What is the question? What is an effective measure to increase population density? What's the measure?
No.
Let's say tomorrow we have gas cost on the pump station for buying gas, not $1 like we have today, but $2. With $1 being a tax going to the municipal purses.
So
Would that increase the population density? Would that be effective?
Would you consider, or did you consider increasing the tax on gas?
Yes.
Is that correct?
By the way,
To increase density?
we increased the gasoline tax in Bogota. We created a tax. We put a local tax. We increased it from 5% to 20%. And later we promoted that it would increase to, but then people began to go to the municipalities nearby to get fuel. So we had to pass a law so that we increased the tax for the whole country mandatory. We did it in Congress, in National Congress, and then later we were able to increase it to 25% surcharge tax on gasoline. This in order to finance mostly payments in low-income neighborhoods and for the bus system, the Transmilenio system. But look, I believe it's good that people have cars if they want, fine. We should not have very high taxes on sales cars, on ownership of cars. But we should have very high taxes to the use of cars, such as the congestion charging or gasoline tax. I do believe we should have much higher gasoline prices, taxes, so that we should subsidize better public transport. We have, of course, this is very politically conscientious, very difficult. This, unfortunately, unless it's very high, the results that I have seen in the world is that, unfortunately, people do not change very much their habits because the gasoline is high. In Europe, for example, the gasoline is much more expensive than in Canada, the United States, so people have smaller cars. But still, they use the car when they can. They have to, they use public transport when they have to. So, I think all means to try to reduce car use are good. It is maybe more effective to restrict parking than to increase gasoline taxes, but I believe we should increase gasoline taxes in order to subsidize a better public transport and improve pedestrian facilities and bicycle facilities. But to be honest, unfortunately, in the world, unfortunately, the experience is that the use of the car, and much more so perhaps what you asked, is the increasing density, is relatively inelastic to the price of gasoline. One thing that is interesting that I'd like to point out here, by the way, which is a little different, but is that in our bus lanes, many of the biggest roads in the city still do not have the Transmilenio system. But where the Transmilenio system has gone, it has clearly increased the prices of property all around it and attracted a lot of investments in offices, in shops, even unfortunately in shopping malls. Even in high-income apartments, they advertise that they are near the Transmilenio system. So you could say that what I have seen, and by the way, if this thing is recorded, I will lose all the elections back. Restrictions to car use will increase density. Restrictions to car use will increase density. Especially traffic jams will increase density because people will not want to go live very far out in the suburbs, but they will want to be. But gasoline taxes, even though they are very good for other reasons, have not shown so far to change behaviors very effectively.
Did you restrict car use? There was a policy that you initiated which allowed cars only on certain days.
Yeah, we initiated a policy that now has been adopted by 10 Colombian cities that cars could not be used in peak hours. Each car had a restriction 2 days a week. But I think more intelligent than not allowing cars to be used, ideally we should charge for car use, such as in London. But the easiest way is to charge to have higher gasoline taxes. We have a problem in Colombia. Our two neighbors, which are Venezuela and Ecuador, they like to give gas away for free to their citizens.
Yeah. When I was in Caracas, we filled up a car for.
And so in our border areas, I mean, in Venezuela, I think the gasoline price is like 5 cents of a dollar or something, a gallon. I don't remember, something crazy like this. So for us to manage these neighbors is a little difficult.
You know what, I think that we need to wrap up. It has been such a great pleasure and completely invigorating to have Enrique, and thank you very much.